What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my podcast, Nigel, a personal podcast. Oh my goodness. I want to thank you guys so much for sticking with me. And there are so many people who, even though there's only two beautiful, short lived podcast episodes, you guys live for them. You have been inspired by them. And that's really all I could ask for. I even said when I started this that I'm only going to be doing episodes of the podcast when I feel cute. And I always say that because pretty much what that means is like when there is time. Today, though, this episode is doubling as an all over you lyrical explanation and story time behind the music kind of thing for this song, my third single that I'm releasing for my drag persona, Jasmine Anastasia. And it's just so amazing because this is my third single, and this is a song that I fully produced, fully wrote, fully did the music video, fully did everything. I completely built this song from the ground up, visually and musically, and I just wanted to tear it apart with you guys. And if there are any inspiring artists or musicians out there, this will be so amazing for you guys to listen to and kind of just hear my process and hear my thoughts. But even if you're not that, if you do something else, I hope that just the way I kind of break this down and explain things, or even the story time behind the lyrics of the song, I hope that in some way, shape, or form this helps you, heals you, inspires you, something, because I'm really trying to create content these days that changes people, because I've come to realize that so many of the things that have helped me grow and be the best person that I am comes from media. It's a song, or it's a show, or it's a movie, or a character, or something. It's something in the media that uplifted me and changed me or inspired me. So I just want to continue to do that for not only younger queer people who want to get into the type of things that I'm doing, but also just for humans in general. No matter what you want to do, no matter what your orientation is or who you are, I want the things that I do on my channel and in my music and on the podcast to be inspiring to you. So, with that said, this is so exciting. I'm gonna actually, so the other day, I was looking through my music files and I found the beat that I made before All Over You was All Over You. So, cute little fact here that All Over You was originally titled Nasty. Um, and I was gonna, like, it was that way because I just, like, so the way I kind of do music, or the way how it's been, first of all, I just started doing music production and building beats this past year. So I'm so new at really doing everything. But the way that I usually do it is like I have a feeling for a song or a word, you know what I mean? And I can build off of that. For instance, you can say like Greek mythology, and then I can just write a bunch of words about Greek mythology, and then I can write verses from those words and create a song about Greek mythology. And same thing with like feeling nasty or stronger, or whatever it is, whatever the vibe is. And at this point in time, no shocker here, I wanted a nasty beat, so I titled it Nasty and also wanted the beat to be nasty. And I'm gonna say this right now because this is a huge. People are always asking me this because so much of my music is over sexualized, and it's so nasty. But here's what you have to understand. This is art to me, and in some way, shape, or form, I am expressing all of this like sexual overdrive through music, because I am very much like real talk, like I'm like a prude, like I express myself hugely through music because I don't do that with someone. I really, really do have trust issues, and I really, really do have like sexual trust issues more than anything. And music can't give you disease, and music can't, fuck you over or lie to you or any of that shit. So it's kind of like really, really cute that I feel like I mate with music over people. So sometimes it gets a little frisky, and my lyrics really go off. But yeah, it's nothing more than just expressing art. And also, like, I'm a huge fan of all genres of music, but specifically, Cardi, Lil Kim, Trina, Cupcake, like, these are the girls that I listen to, like, when I work out, when I'm living my life, when I want inspiration to be, like, stronger and strive for the best. I'm listening to, like, the nastiest, sloppiest, banging beats. That's what I like. I just like that vibe. Like, it just makes me feel alive. And I feel like music can do that for you. And I've said this on so many of like my music reaction videos. Like, music can do all these things for you. It can make you laugh, cry, inspire, heal. Like, it can do whatever you need it to do for you if you let it. So just keep that in mind. So I found the beat. I'm gonna play you guys the beat of what it was before it was all over you. So here it is. I get silent. I literally, when I was making that, I literally remember thinking like, "Oh, I want this to go." Because a song I was doing before this, I couldn't get my vocals to sound loud enough. This is when I first started like producing songs, and I was started to add vocals to one of my songs, and I had made the song, like the instrumental of the song, so powerful that my vocals were being drowned out. So I was like, "All right, I'm gonna make another song, but I'm gonna make the instrumental like." I'm gonna do a soft spoken, like sexy verse when the beat drops, like when it gets to that point where it just dropped off, like right there. I'll play it again. Like, I knew I could do a verse there and it would be heard if I did, like, if I dropped out all the instruments. So that's how I got the idea to do like that music, 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 silence, 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 music, 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 silence, because I just wanted to be heard. I eventually did learn how to stack my vocals and create stronger vocals that could be heard over a strong beat. But at this time when I started making this, that was why I made the song that way, because I just want it to be heard. But then it ended up sounding really good, and I just love the way it sounded. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna actually get into the song here, and I'm gonna go verse by verse and let you guys know what's going on. So here is the beginning of All Over You, the mastered version. I'm so nasty when I come through. I saw my pussy and wipe it all over you. Make me wanna be coming inside you. Hands tied up, toys blowing up right you. Again, like super disgusting, super vulgar. All it's really talking about in the beginning of this track. And it's so funny because the track really built itself. And that's why I'm so in love with this track and so proud of it, because I've always heard so many artists talk about, like, oh, it just came to me, or like, it just, I just started writing and the story just, it just came to me, it just came to me. And I always thought, like, damn, like, nothing ever comes to me. Like, I work so hard for stuff. Like, nothing ever just flows. But when I sat down to write this song lyrically, it just flowed. It just came out, and it started off with this sexy verse, and the whole song was supposed to be sexy. But when we get to some of the more aggressive verses later, what ended up happening was actually that, like, my actual relationship PTSD kicked in while I was making the song, and I got angry. I literally remembered a moment that pissed me off and upset me, like a real true moment, and made that into one of the verses later. But we'll get to that later. But in the beginning, the idea of not only the first verse but the whole song was to literally just be sexy. Like, it was supposed to be called Nasty. It was going to be like this real sexy, all over his body. Like, whipped cream was going to make all these verses. Like, it was like supposed to be something else. But yeah, you'll see what it turned into. But so that is how I got that first verse. I wanted it to be quiet. I wanted it to be like demure. And I definitely accomplished that. I love that first verse. It's such a trip when I lick the tip, when your eyes roll back and you're loving it. I must admit, I'm feeling it. Can we be friends? Just fuck me. Oh, and that is probably like my favorite verse of the song because it really goes, and like definitely check out the lyric video up on my YouTube channel if you want to like see all the lyrics word for word for this song. But that verse specifically, it's sexy, but it talks about that moment where like you're with someone and you have so many thoughts in your head. You're trying to be sexy, you're trying to be cute. Can we be friends? Just fuck me. Like it's very like everything happens so fast. Like you have all these thoughts in your head and you're not sure which one to say. Like you're thinking about all these things and you're not sure what thing you want to process to come out of your mouth. That's what that verse reminded me of. And it kind of translates from the first verse because in the first verse, she's in control, she's just being sexy, everything's cute and demure. And then in the second verse, it's like sexy, sexy, sexy. And then it's that idea of like losing track of your sexiness and like kind of like not knowing what to say next or getting kind of fumbled over your words. And I definitely for the all over yous and the ad libs, I did those last. So I actually like once I write the song, I do like the verses, and then I'll go in and do the ad libs last, which are actually little Nigel fact that those are my favorite things to do in music. I love doing like the laughs and the moans and just the different words that like make the song stronger. Um, Definitely helps everything and brings it all together. Like there are so many times where I'm not sure a song is going to be a good song, and then once I add the ad libs, I'm like, oh, this is it. She's here. She's arrived. When I back it up, I get real proud. I love the wiggle and scream and be real loud. I must confess, my love is me. I nasty bitch down on my knees. But when I hear a sudden sound, I begin to deliver and pump the crowd. They believe that she is me, so again, like I love that part. I definitely wanted something to like progress and like grow. I knew that I was feeling the sexiness in the beginning, but the feeling started to change and it was almost like I was over myself being sexy while I was writing the song. And what ended up happening was that verse of I must confess she is me and all that, because it was like I wanted to get into the drag. I wanted to talk about my transformation. I wanted to talk about other things other than being cute and being sexy. And it led me to that verse, and I love that verse, and it grows, and then it goes into this part here. Must be crazy, to let you in, to show you my feelings, it's such a sin, but when you listen, to the music in me, I start a fire, I control me, I start a fire, I start a fire, I start a fire. And I love that verse too. So when I wrote that verse, I originally was just like, I need to incorporate some type of like soft singing sensation of something, because I did not want the song to just be like full on like, rap. I wanted there to be some element of like soft like vocals. So I feel like that was my moment to like let out a cute little rhyme, and it was just very ethereal, very like I was feeling like very like Jasmine from not me Jasmine Anastasia, but Jasmine from Aladdin, like just me like that vibe of just like like diamonds on my forehead and just like Hindi. There's actually an Indian guitar in the back of the song that like really inspired me. And my original thought for the music video was that like the camera would spin over my face and I would have like this long like beautiful hair and be like in like kind of like Hindu clothing type of thing. That didn't really work out with the budget, so we didn't do that idea. But the idea for the visual came to me while I was writing the song, and that's something that usually happens to me, and they come with each other, which is really like, please let me know like in the comments if you're listening to this on YouTube or in some way shape or form. You can leave a comment and let me know if anyone out there, like if that happens to you, like if you're an artist and like you kind of have that 360 mentality brain where like you're writing a song and you see the video in your head, and it's a lot going on, but it really helps because I can see, sometimes I see more than I hear, and it helps me finish writing. And that's kind of what happened with this part, is I saw myself in this costume, in this formation, with this camera angle, and then from there I wrote that verse. And I love that verse. Let's continue. 2 weeks later, I went over to play, but when I rolled up, I noticed this bitch had stayed. First, I slashed her tires and gave it a kiss, so they knew I had something to say. When I walked in, I saw her all over you, and I was bothered. I grabbed her by the hair and screamed, "Be prepared, bitch! You should have saw her." Bitch. So that is when the PTSD kicked in. I accomplished this amazing that pop verse that we did right before this one, and then that's when it kicked in. I shifted and I got angry, and I literally thought about this moment, and this is the exact moment that I write about. I literally say, when I walked in, I saw her all over you and I was bothered. And while I was writing this song, I literally had a flashback to when I was in my ex situationship, and it was his birthday, and he literally invited me over to celebrate his birthday. And I thought it was the cutest thing ever. And I came over with a friend of mine, and we were supposed to all hang out and celebrate his birthday, the three of us. And when I got there, he had another girl there. And although I didn't pull her hair and drag her out like I say so in the song, it was a very dramatic evening, and I left very upset. But I wanted to master that moment and twist it into what Jasmine would do if I was Jasmine at the time. I was Nigel in that time. So I was thinking, like, oh my gosh, what would Jasmine do if she was in here, like, in full geese, you know what I mean? And I just thought of that verse of, like, drag you by the hair. And then when I say be prepared, that is actually a line inspired from, and this is another Nigel fact, people probably don't know this, but I am such a gamer and I love World of Warcraft. And "You are not prepared" is a line from a World of Warcraft expansion from a character named Illidan. And when I was writing this verse, I just thought, bitch, be prepared. I thought about that moment when I was playing that game years ago, and then I thought about the moment where my ex did this crazy shit, and I was writing the song at the same time, and I just put it all together, and that's how I got what you guys just heard. I know it sounds crazy, but I remember at the time just thinking, like, oh my gosh, I'm so lucky. Like, this is so cool that everything just came at once. Like, and that's when I said, like, that's when I thought, like, oh my gosh, like, all the things that artists have always talked about, like, oh, it just came to me. I put all my trauma and experiences into this song. I used to think, like, how do you do that? And then finally it happened to me. Like, I really look forward to the process that happened with All Over You to happen with other songs, because it really was therapeutic. And it's really cool that one of the most hurtful moments of my life ended up being a strong ass verse on one of the coolest songs, one of the only songs, the first and only song that I produced and wrote for myself. Like, this song changed my life and makes me feel like such an artist, and so important. And that verse is such a part of the song, and it's all because of that horrible evening. So I'm glad I could twist a disgusting night and make it something magical. I'm proud of that. Let's continue. All over, yeah. She was real. All over, you. She was real. So that was just a little filler, fun dance vibe. And then what you're going to get into next is the actual real moment of what happened. So there wasn't the "I'll pull you by the hair" and all that. That never happened. That was, again, what I thought and how I thought Jasmine would react to the situation. But what actually happened is I went home, and my friend drove me home, and I cried on the whole way home. So that's how I got to this verse. I can't get my heart, I know it's there, but he was wrong from the start. There's no bleach, find no joy, can't relax, and life is silly. And then, I realized I was writing a sad verse, and I immediately was like, up, time to pick it up again. Like, you went this whole song being sexy and strong and telling the story. We don't have the time for this sad verse. So I immediately wanted to pick it up again and get nasty with the beat. Shake that ass, show you got the flavor. Show 'em all got that bitch behavior. Sprinkle all you can with joy. Make every boy you find your toy. I love it. That's one of my. Honestly, I love all the verses, but I love how, again, I was able to take that really sad moment of me crying home, can't feel my heart, I know he's there, he was wrong from the start, and turn it into fuck guys, get your money, get your bread. I really love that. And like, I always wanted a song that said that, because I can't wait for people to listen to this and be like sad over a guy and then get to that part and be like not sad. You know what I mean? Like, oh, let me get my money. Like, let me get my bread and worry about me because they heard that in my song. Like, that's the point of this, is to inspire the people who feel broken from love or trauma or any situation in life and want to turn that around into something positive. That's what that verse is for. It's for those people. And then all of this spirals into a chaotic, crazy ending that at first I was so unsure of. But I have like this obsession with like Broadway overlaps, where like, like a huge Broadway cast do like everyone sings over each other. I'm obsessed with it. One of my favorite songs is If Only, the Broadway quartet from The Little Mermaid on Broadway. It's not in the movie. It's just in The Little Mermaid on Broadway version. It is on Spotify. It's called If Only Quartet. And it has all the characters, Ariel, King Triton, Sebastian. They sing over each other. So this is something that, and same thing in like Les Mis, Jekyll and Hyde. A lot of huge Broadway productions have that kind of overlapping of different vocal parts and verses. So the ending of this song is basically me overlapping all the moments in the song and bringing it to a conclusion. I like love that ending. Like when I was doing the ending and I found that little N maraca, I was like, that is the ending. Like I knew that was the ending and I did not want to change it like so early on. Probably as soon as I finished the instrumentals. But yeah, that was my lyrical breakdown and song analysis and story time behind my third single, All Over You, by my drag persona, Jasmine Anastasia. If you guys listened to this entire breakdown, podcast moment, lyrical explanation, analysis that I just had, thank you so much. Like, I'm still beside myself and gagged that as someone who is a member of the LGBT, that I can be on YouTube and do music through my drag persona and do makeup and form this business, that wasn't available to people in my community 20, 30 years ago, It's really important to me that I continue to do what I do and show people that it can be done. So I'm so happy to bring you guys this episode and really explain how I did this, again, just to inspire you in any way, shape, or form. So thank you so much for being here with me, and I hope you guys enjoy the official music video, lyric video, and music visualizer of All Over You, out April 28th at midnight. And yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go and leave you with the mastered final version of All Over You, streaming on all major platforms, April 28th. Mwah. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so nasty when I come through. I slap my pussy and wipe it all over you. Make me wanna be coming inside you. Hands tied up, toys blowing up and right on you. Such a trip when I lick the tip, when your eyes roll back and you're loving it. I must admit, I'm feeling it. Can we be friends? Just fuck me. All over you. All over you. When I back it up, I get real proud. I love the wiggle and scream and be real loud. I must confess, my love is me. A nasty bitch down on my knees. But when I hear a certain sound, I begin to litter and bump the crowd. They believe that she is me, so you're a step. I must be crazy to let you in, to show you my feelings with such a sin. But when you listen to the music in me, bitch had stayed. First I slashed her tires and gave it a kiss, so they knew I had something to say. When I walked in, I saw her all over you and I was bothered. I grabbed her by the hair and screamed, be prepared, bitch, you should have saw her. Bitch, all over you. She was through all over you. She was through. I can't feel my heart, I know it's there, but he was wrong from the start. Forgiveness must flee to find her joy, came and lands on legs of the silly boy. Back it up to your titties for the music. Eat shit, get your bread, don't stop moving. Be the bitch you want to be. Fuck him and his lips so deep. Shake that ass, show him you got the flavor. Show him all that bad bitch behavior. Sprinkle all you can with joy. Make every boy you find your toy.